Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Otts here. Is Friday, and we have another double header of Raptors games. Raptors 9:05 at 7 o'clock at Wisconsin Herd, and Raptors at 8 o'clock against the Chicago Bulls. Both right around the same region of the world. Wisconsin, Illinois is where the two teams are. Let's get ahead into the latest lineup news, and also we'll do the ref report right in a row right now. So let's check it out. The Raptors have some stuff on their injury list. Garrett Temple remains out today due to his birth of his third child. So he is still back in Toronto with his wife, and they're having the baby over the last week or so. So I don't know where the baby's at. The baby's out or whatever. But Garrett will miss another game today, not be available. He's not with the team right now on this trip. Could very well be that Garrett is not on this trip at all, going down to Orlando for the next two games either. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Garrett, in some ways, we know he's our vet. He's nice to have around with the team for guidance. And well, he's busy. This is important, the kid. So Jamison Battle did break his nose. This has been verified yesterday, finally. I said it before they verified it because I knew he did. He hit his face on Brandon Carlson's shoulder, and his nose is fractured. And he will not be available for today. He is with the Raptors, though, in Chicago, and not with the 905. So he'll be sitting on the bench with Shamshay and Ingram and those guys. Scotty is questionable tonight. He's still on the injury list after missing the last game. Hip injury, of course. I think he's going to play today, guys. I think he only needed that one game because of the back-to-back. And because Scott's threshold for missing postseason awards is so slim right now, he can only miss 3 more games. He might want to get the games in. And if he has to miss 3 more games before the end of the season, or 2 or 1, he might want to save him. So I'm going to guess right now that Scotty will return back to the lineup tonight. If he doesn't, that really means he's taking a good chance to heal his hip injury. And hopefully he can play both the games in Orlando because, like I said, he's got 3 games left. If he misses more than 3 games, he will lose all postseason award eligibility. So yeah, he's watching that right now, guys. I'm telling you, he wants to be out there. And if they clear him, he will go. He will go. But that, in some ways, it may not be totally up to him. PJ Tucker, there is news by Blake Murphy yesterday talking about PJ Tucker. The deadline is tomorrow, guys, for Tucker. He needs to be bought out or waived by Saturday to be playoff eligible. So this is a deadline for PJ. The Raptors don't necessarily care about this deadline. So he needs to be bought out or waived by tomorrow, or he cannot join another team to try and make a playoff run. So if PJ Tucker has any angst about what his situation is right now, well, this is the time where he's very angsty about it. But I don't think he is. Honestly, I don't think he is. All indications from him the last couple of years is he's not really caring about getting into the games and playing anymore. He's all right collecting the checks. So, yeah, Blake's also saying if the Raptors do not buy him out or waive him, they could still open a roster spot by waiving him afterwards, and Tucker would have no incentive to leave money on the table. So it's crazy. They can use his bird rights for a human trade exception in the summer. So there's some usefulness to the situation. So yeah, and this is more elaboration by Blake saying basically after Saturday, the decision for the Raptors becomes what's more valuable: an open roster spot for a 10-day trial and guys out, or an option to sign and trade Tucker in the summer to make a cap math work on a deal. The latter seems unlikely, but that'd be the explanation if not waived, I think. So there you go. There you go. It's like it's on PJ at this point. Do you want to get bought out to join another team? Well, you need to negotiate today, because if you don't, well, you're at our mercy after that. As far as what we want to decide with what you do, we waive you. Well, hasta la vista, baby. If we hold on to you and keep you around, we may do a sign and trade this summer because that makes sense. Well, we'll just have to trust Bobby on his decision with PJ Tucker and what's going on right now. Also, Shamshay on the injury list with his partial proximal MCL tear, and Brandon Ingram still out with his ankle injury for the Raptors. I'll speculate that tonight the Raptors will have their regular starting lineup with Barbecue Dick, Yak Dick out there, with Scotty returning to the lineup. I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to bet you Scotty will play tonight, guys. So that's what I'm seeing for the Raptors right now. Manuel, Grady, RJ, Scotty, and Jakob in the starting lineup. Once again, our full strength starting lineup. That'd be great. Chicago is different, man. We've seen Chicago twice already this year. They beat us in 2 close games that we shouldn't have won, both of them. I consider both the Bulls games this year so far failures at the end of the game where we just didn't manage the game correctly, and the Bulls somehow ended up winning against us. In fact, there are 2 games I wanted back to put in the wins column versus the loss column. Well, is the third time the charm tonight? Raptors in Chicago? We'll have to see. They're changed again because they traded Zach LaVine to Sacramento, and they're a different team than they were even since we've seen them before the trade deadline. But here's their injury list right now. They do have an injury list right now of different people. Jalen Smith, the great forward off the bench with the goggles, is questionable today. He's in concussion protocols. So it's basically like, it's like RJ a couple weeks ago. Is he available because he's cleared concussion protocols? He may be, but he's questionable right now. Ayo Dosunmu is also questionable today due to a shoulder injury. Nikola Vucevic is doubtful today against the Raptors. He has a right calf strain, so it's a good chance that we will not see Big Vooch, probably their best player right now, honestly, on their team. Patrick Williams is out right now. He's had a problem recently, and since with a platelet-rich plasma injection was given to his knee because he has a knee problem. So Patrick Williams is out also from Florida State. So who are the Bulls now? It's really a weird team at this point. They really have changed. They really have changed. With Smith and Vucevic out possibly and Williams, they're really small, guys. They don't have their centers. Their big center right now, I guess, is Zach Collins from the San Antonio Spurs, who they acquired around the trade deadline. So it's very likely the lineup will be something like Lonzo Ball, Kobe White in the backcourt with Josh Giddey playing point guard at forward. And Matas Buzelis, the rookie, is starting now, along with probably Zach Collins starting, because if there's no Vucevic, no Jalen Smith, no Patrick Williams, it looks like Zach Collins will be starting. So this is not as talented a team as the Bulls team we played earlier this year. I'm going to say that right now. Giddey is good. Buzelis is fantastic coming up. You know, you gotta worry about Kobe White to an extent. Lonzo Ball still coming back from injury too. So who are the Bulls now? It's that starting 5 I just said, plus Trey Jones. They acquired Trey Jones also recently. Trey Jones, the point guard. Kevin Huerter is on their team now also from the Kings. So he's somebody to watch out for threes off the bench. Julian Phillips, Dalen Terry, EJ Liddell, Talen Horton-Tucker. That's basically their lineup. They're very, very different. They're not as good, and they have lost a lot recently. They've lost worse than we have lost in the last 10 or so games. They have 2 victories in their last 10 games. And, they have a lot of losing since New Year's. Seriously. I think they've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games since actually they've only won 4 games. Wait, no, hang on. Let me count this again. 1, 2, let me count it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've won 8 games since the calendar is flipped. So they've been having a tough time in 2025, the Bulls. I fully expect us to have a good run and hopefully beat them. This is a very winnable game, as Monique is saying there. Very, very winnable. All right, the referees for the 9:05 game. First of all, let me go over the Wisconsin Herds roster. We'll be playing them at first of 2 games in a row against the Herd starting today and tomorrow. I believe they play them right away tomorrow also. So back-to-back for the 9:05 starting today. They have James Akinjo, Abu Baji, Terrence Davis. Terrence Davis is on this team, guys. Terrence Davis, the second former Raptor draft pick, is going to be playing against the 9:05 today. That is where TD2 is now. Also, former Raptor Henry Ellenson is on the Wisconsin Herd right now. Jack Golek, Jalen Lewis, Ade Murkay, Justin Moore, Ryan Rollins, Stephen Thompson, Stanley Yamudi, and other former Raptors 905, Justice Winslow. So the Raptors 905 are playing against TD2, Terrence Davis, former Raptor, Henry Ellenson, and Justice Winslow, all on the Wisconsin Herd roster for today. The referees for that game will be Kelsey Reynolds is the crew chief, number 15. The referee is Leah Laney, number 37. And the umpire is Ashley Gloss, number 67, all-female ref crew for 905 today. In the replay center tonight for Secaucus, Michael Smith, Matt Boland, Josh Tiven, and Inte Huang. The referees for the Raptors game in Chicago, the Bulls. Tonight, our crew chief is Ed Malloy. That's right. Ed Malloy will be reffing the Raptors game tonight. His 23rd season out of Media, Pennsylvania, number 14. His favorite TV show is Jeopardy. He likes the movie Top Gun, Maverick. He likes to listen to AC/DC. He reads Tom Clancy. His favorite meal is penne a la vodka. He listens to Spotify, and he most like to visit Sorrento, Italy. That's right. Ed Malloy earned a bachelor's degree in marketing from Thomas Jefferson, like the president. How did you get a bachelor's in marketing from Thomas Jefferson? He'd been dead for a long time, Ed Malloy. They should elaborate on this. It makes it sound like he got a degree from a dead president. I don't get this, man. Either way, Ed Malloy is the crew chief today. He is. We did win the last time Ed Malloy reffed us, though, guys. He did ref us a game in January that we won, one of those games in the middle of January. We're 1-2 for the season with Ed Malloy. And, well, we win 44% of our games currently with Ed Malloy in his career. And, well, the Bulls win 42% of their games. So 44-42 for the Raptors with crew chief Ed Malloy today. So Ed Malloy is actually favoring the Raptors today, guys, in this game. And, well, we'll have to see. I'm going to be watching Ed Malloy real close. I don't see any reason why Ed Malloy's got to do his signature bullshit at the end of the game to help divert which team's going to win. I don't think he cares about who wins this game. I don't think the NBA cares about who wins this game. So I really do not see Ed Malloy being a master manipulator like he can be in this game, because this is a game that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for either team, really, and it doesn't really matter for the NBA and the whole picture of the thing. So Ed Malloy just going to be on cruise control. I don't expect any major ref manipulation, but we'll watch him anyway, and let's just see how he calls it. If we see some funny stuff, we'll talk about it tomorrow. The second ref is Jason Goebel, number 68, out of Miami, Florida, ninth season in the league. His favorite TV show is Power. He likes the movie Godfather. He likes to listen to Mark Anthony. His favorite book is Pirates in Blue. He eats veal parmigiani. So we're going to need to go to an Italian restaurant for these guys. Favorite app is Netflix. He must like to visit Tahiti, and his bucket list is to roll his own cigar in Cuba. That's right. He is the former police officer from Miami-Dade Police Department for 13 years. Jason Goebel worked as a police officer down in Miami. His brother, John, is in his 18th season as an NBA staff official. This is the younger Goebel brother, and he's the better Goebel brother for the Raptors in statistically. So let's look at him right now. We win 50% of our games with Jason Goebel currently. We did win the last game he reffed us. This year, we're 1-3 with him, 4 games reffed, and we're 1-3, so we won the last one. And meanwhile, the Bulls win 59% of their games. So 50-59 for the Bulls with Goebel. Goebel says go Bulls. Go figure. Yeah, so the cop from Miami, not on our side. He's the one who's the only one that's going for the Bulls, statistically. The third ref is Nate Green. Nate Green is a favorable ref for the Raptors, a referee we like. Number 41 in his 6th season out of Des Moines, Iowa. He likes the TV show The Wire. His favorite movie is Coming to America. His favorite musician, Selena Johnson. Favorite book, Lone Survivor. And yes, we are going to an Italian restaurant. Tagliatelle Bolognese for this man here. He likes Netflix also, so maybe some Italian and some Netflix later. Most like to visit Africa. Nate Green is involved in his community's annual diversity walk, which celebrates people from all backgrounds and walks of life. He enjoys playing golf, bass fishing, and wine collecting. Yeah, Nate Green is the best ref for the Raptors today statistically. Our record this year is 2-2 with him. We did win the last game that he refereed for us, so we're 2-2. That's pretty good. Our overall record with him for his career is 56% winning percentage, and the Bulls win 41%. So 56-41 for the Raptors with the third ref, Nate Green. So Ed Malloy, Nate Green, 4 Raptors. Jason Goebel, go Bulls. Yeah, there you go. There's your ref report for today. Ed Malloy. But like I said, if Ed Malloy is going to be reffing us, it's a game that doesn't matter. In some ways, both of our teams are struggling at the bottom of the standings, and they don't have high stakes for this. So in some ways, Ed Malloy just coming to ref a game to get paid, not coming to a game to control it, to try and get the result that the script writers for the NBA wants. If he's in a playoff game, if we're at the top of the standings and we're too high up in the standings, yeah, he might do some fucked up stuff. But in this situation, I don't think Ed Malloy is going to be any weird or any kind of way. He'll be straight up probably. But who knows? Maybe he'll have bad habit of screwing over the Raptors at the end. We'll have to see. The last two games with the Bulls this year have been very close and decided in the last couple minutes. And the Raptors have lost those games due to inexperience and closing out games to close it to win it. Well, let's see if they've learned in the learning curve of the season how to close out games better. The third time is the charm against the Bulls and win this one this time. Because the first two times y'all played them, y'all had no business losing to them either game. We really, really did it. And those were two games that pissed me off, honestly, the last two Bulls games. So let's see if we can make it a little bit better tonight, Toronto Raptors. Let's go. And Scotty, come back. Scotty, come back. Oh, we can play better with you. We would need you out on that court every night. Scotty, come back. Whoa. Play a little player there, right? Yeah, baby, come back. Oh, you can blame it all on me. I was wrong, and I just can't live without you. Dun, 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 dun. Baby, come back. All right, let's see. Trevor J is here. Words of wisdom. Today's reminder: the most valuable asset you own isn't money; it's your ability to think clearly. In a world designed to confuse, your mental clarity is wealth. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sad about the election yesterday, but you know what? I realized this. The Canadian system is broken to a degree. There's two factors that really screw things up, and it's rigged at this point in certain ways. Down in the States, they have gerrymandering, which has been completely horrible for representation truly of the population. Well, up here, it's proportional voting needs to happen because it's so stupid. This party system in Canada here, how the one side has one big party and that's it, the PCs, and the other ones are all divvied up into different places and they take little slices of the pie. If the ridings would just get their acts together and strategically vote, the PCs would have lost last night. But because of the system and the way it's set up, it's really hard to get everybody together and figure it out. It's stupid. It's so dumb. You could go around different ridings around Ontario and add up the numbers, and you would see that NDP plus Liberal would beat PC in a lot of them, and we would actually won the election. But people don't get the memo. They don't understand strategic voting. We're not going to get that. And the other problem is voter turnout was horrible again last night. In fact, it may have been worse than the last election where it was really bad. 67% of people did not vote in the last Ontario election. I don't know what the number is yet, but it could be higher. And that's disgusting. That's not a democracy, and that's not representative of the people. That's a failing of the people to get motivated to do it. That's a success for the people that don't want them to come out and vote. They have won them over by not being clear enough or critical thinking enough to go out and vote. It's the confusion of a quick snap election. It's confusion about where you're supposed to vote. There's all kinds of bad, evil ploys to not get people to the ballots. And that sucks, man. In some ways, it was a victory yesterday because they did lose seats. And it wasn't a win for the PC as far as gaining more. They won the election, yes. But in some ways, they had slight losses. And that's good in my book. And also, the Liberals won enough seats to be back on a party platform once again in double digits. So there were some small victories in the Ontario election yesterday, even if it seems like, well, what is this bullshit? This is the same bullshit. Well, it's strategy by Doug Ford. And, the other thing that he did right as soon as he became premier of Ontario is he eliminated a bunch of ridings and consolidated them into one big riding. And that changed how many seats there were. And that was part of how he gained his ability to continue to win Ontario provincial elections. That's why the push for proportional voting system is very much important. And the Liberals and the NDP need to get on the same page and get this shit done so that our government could be truly representative of the majority of what people want instead of a minority running it because of a crooked ass, crazy multi-party system. And that's it in gist right there. I told you the three things right there. Doug Ford changed the rules when he took power, and he got rid of certain ridings that were liberal and consolidated them so they'd have less seats in the government. And that's totally how he rigged it. It's exactly like how they did in the States with gerrymandering. Same exact shit. The apathy of the voter in Ontario not voting, especially people in Toronto who are too busy running the rat race just to try and make rent can't get to the polls, or they don't even know, or they don't even go do it, or they just think, oh, it won't matter anyway. Well, they win when all those things happen at the same time. And, not being on the same page, a couple of ridings in Scarborough fucking things up because they divvy up their votes. Whereas if they voted together, they would have beat the PC party in those ridings. So there's a couple of different things that went wrong last night. There you go. Thank you, Trevor, for your words of wisdom. I guess I didn't totally expound on them, but I said what I had to say. Let's see. Happy game day. Please defend the 3-point line from the Chicago Bulls Raptors. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Kevin Herter can hurt us with 3-pointers for sure. In some ways, I don't worry about them for threes. They're not one of the better 3-point shooting teams, are they? Kobe White, I guess. I don't know. In some ways, yes, we need to guard the three of every game, but we need to just beat the Bulls in general. And their talent level is down at this point. We're healthy for the most part, and we're playing pretty well as a team overall. So we need to win this one. We need to win this one. I don't want to see a sweep for the Bulls. And, well, we got 2 more chances to beat them with 2 more games still in the season. And, well, let's start it tonight. And this even this season series, and maybe get 2-2 by the end of the year because we beat them the next 2 times we play them. That'd be fantastic. Trevor's saying Black History Moment. Stuart Granger, the first Black Canadian drafted in the NBA, the 24th pick in the 1983 draft. That was rich with talent. Oh, that's cool. So the first Black Canadian drafted into the NBA was in 1983, and his name was Stuart Granger. That's a pretty cool factoid. Another name that I had never heard before in my life. And wow, he's the first Black Canadian drafted in the NBA. Very, very cool, Trevor J. Thank you for your Black History Moments this month. I'm going to go ahead and give you a dunk for the information and the contribution. Very, very appreciative. Very, very appreciative. Yeah. All right. Where is he? Where's Trevor? There he is. He's at 39 now. There you go, Trevor. You're working. We got 13 dunks now. Trevor's saying Chris Jasper of the Isley Brothers died. Songwriter, hit songs like Between the Sheets, For the Love of You. Oh, that's sad to hear. That's sad to hear. Somebody who wrote some of the songs for the Isley Brothers, Between the Sheets. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad to hear. Yeah, very sad with people passing more recently. The Gene Hackman thing still got me kind of reeling in a weird way too. I don't know. Gene Hackman's a weird guy, but yes, rest in peace to Chris Jasper and condolences to the people that love him and his family. Mo's here. Good to see super fan Monique Lawrence. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Happy game day. Winnable game. Let's not make this one slide out of our hands versus Bulls. Hit first, guard the threes, make free throws, no slumps, etc. I love that list. It's like Monique has the keys to the victory, Jack. Jack Armstrong, you don't need to do it later. Monique has given us the keys to victory. You can just copy her work and just put it on the telecast later. Seriously, this is about right. Hit them first. I like that. Come out swinging. Come out and play hard and get the lead right away. Don't come out flat. Come out making shots with good energy. You come out making good energy, but not necessarily making shots, Raptors, in recent games. The energy's been on point with the defense and getting after them. It's just you're not converting shots at the beginning of the game. So can we do both tonight? Come out with energy and convert shots right away. That'd be awesome. Guard the three. Yes, this has been an Achilles heel for the Raptors franchise for a couple years now. Corner threes, people hitting threes, not getting out to the threes. Maybe double in too much and letting 3-pointers be too open. Yeah, we need to guard the 3-point line better. I would say this, if Vucevic is out and we don't have to worry about down low as much, well, maybe we really, really guard the 3-point line tonight and make it a real focus of Darko's defensive plan for tonight's game. I completely agree with that one. Make the free throws. Yes, RJ, Jakob. Yeah, you guys make your free throws because in some ways the free throw percentages for you guys and the 905 recently, both teams need to do this, has been around 60% at the free throw line. That's no good. That is no good. Y'all are 2 of the worst teams in both the leagues at free throw shooting. The 905 are one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the G League, and the Raptors are not a very good free throw shooting team in the NBA also. So this is something we need to do. No slumps, no dry spots. Scotty's back. That'll help us get through any kind of slumps where Matt Devlin's saying the Raptors haven't scored in the last 2-3 minutes. We don't want to hear any of that kind of call in his announcing. We want to see a consistent scoring effort by the Raptors coming down and making them. What would help is Scotty coming back and also RJ and Emmanuel playing sharper and converting their shots more, whether it's Emmanuel's outside threes or RJ when he does his bully ball to the basket. Those shots need to drop in because in the last couple of games, they have not been consistent with either one of those aspects on those two players. So that's what we need. Monique, thank you for your words, your bullet points on how let's win this game tonight. I love it. Most exactly right. She's got all of them right there. Exactly right. Trevor's saying Steph Curry drops 56 points with 12 threes with a win over the Orlando Magic last night. Wow. Yeah, there's something on ESPN about how yesterday is like Steph Curry Day or something like that. I don't know. Well, that's impressive. He is up there in age. He's been around the league for a long time, but it is Steph Curry, and he's like that. He's like that. Well, that's real cool, impressive. Well, hopefully, maybe one of our Raptors can drop 50 plus points on the Magic this weekend too. That'd be great on Sunday. I'd love to see that happen. A 50-point performance by any of the Raptors. RJ, Scotty, Emmanuel, hey, Grady, go get 50. One of y'all. Come on now. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Good morning to the coach, Cool Cat. Always great to have your presence. TGIF for you. It is Friday, baby. Let's go. Smooth saying, I looked up Stuart Granger. He played 3 seasons, each season different teams, Cleveland, Atlanta, and New York. Cool, Reggie. So Reggie looked up the first Black Canadian to get drafted in the NBA, and he said he played 3 seasons for Cleveland, Atlanta, and the Knicks. Very, very cool. Thank you for going above and beyond, Reggie, and looking that up and giving me a little bit more of it. I'm going to give you a dunk for doing your own research and just giving us a little bit more to it. There you go. You're at 12 now, Reggie. Let's see. Nameless is here. Let's see what Nameless is saying. Black History should be longer than 1 month, and they should stop gaslighting people. Put it this way. Africans are the true descendants of royalty. That's all I will say about that here. I mean, I'm not going to dispute that the cradle of life comes from the continent of Africa, that all life springs from that area of the world. It's proven by scientists and archaeologists. And, there's certain people out there who don't want to hear that. But it's just the damn truth. It's just the damn truth. The cradle of humanity and the cradle of life came from the continent of Africa. Is where it emanated from. And that's just the truth. That's right. Descendants of royalty. Well, like Mr. Shamshay. That's right. Mr. Shamshay is a descendant of royalty. That's right. I agree about this too. Certain people in the States don't even want to recognize February for Black History Month at this point because they are DEI, anti-DEI, which is code for I'm a racist, basically. Anybody who's coming at DEI or complaining about this kind of stuff, why don't you just tell us straight up you're a racist, all right? Because that's the way it is. I see Toronto Tempo stuff getting posted all over the place, and these trolls are coming out of the woodworks because they're threatened by a women's sport coming to Toronto. And, maybe it'll get more popular. Maybe it'll do really well. These haters, these women haters are coming in and saying, you guys need to be subsidized. You're a crappy league. What is this joke? And all this kind of stuff. Just hating with troll bots. And just manufacturing hate. It's awful. It's so bad. And people that are anti-inclusion, anti-equality, anti-diversity, you're idiots right there. Nate Green does his diversity walk because it strengthens the community. It makes us stronger, and we all better for it. But people don't realize this. Some people just are weak, selfish people. They're scared of those that are not like them, and they will continue to be horrible people, honestly. Because they're just sad, pathetic, lonesome people deep down. It's just that they're threatened and they're weak, and that's the sad thing about racists. But yeah, that's where it goes right there. Cream saying it's Friday. Let's get the double W. Yeah, I would say that there's some good chance of the Raptors and the Raptors 905 getting the double W tonight. I'd say the Raptors may have the best chance to win, but hopefully the 905 can pull it off. We'll have to see. The 905 are hurting right now with Jamison Battle out. Of course, Jared Roden and Eugenio Maroy and Frank Kaminsky and AJ Lawson going to have to carry things for that team for a while. Jacoby and Jamal and Jonathan will not be coming there anytime soon, I'm pretty sure, because the Raptors are missing different people. And with PJ Tucker's roster spot being held up, they kind of need Jonathan and Jamal on the main roster and Jacoby too. And, well, the 905 are going to have to do it with who they got. Andrew Jones, Omaroy, Kaminsky, Gilliard, those guys. And hopefully they can do something. The herd will be interesting tonight. I want to see what Terrence Davis is up to. Old Terrence Davis. And this is where he's at now. He's on the G League team for the Milwaukee Bucks. So we'll have to see what happens there. Kareem, always good to see you, Butt Dial. Always good to see my good friend Kareem Thomas, the dunk champion, the greatest Raptor Freak dunker of all time. He's like the Vince Carter of dunks here. Cool Cat saying, I will have to listen later on double speed. Crazy busy day at work. Enjoy the day, Raptor Freak crew. Well, TGIF, you're gone the home stretch for the week, Cool Cat. And yeah, you'll hear me in Micro Machines mode later. Just a reminder to anybody who doesn't watch me live and you watch me later on in the day, just kick up the time speed. 1.5, 1.75. That's what I listen to myself on. When I review my stream later, I'll watch myself back at 1.75 and boom, 2 hours goes by real fast like that. So I know my streams are long and I've cut them down from 4-hour streams to 2-hour streams at this point. So that's a success, right? That's a success, right? Right. HC's here. Good to see Raptor Freak HC. Scotty's got 3 more games before he's under 65. That's right, Scott. We know we're counting, and we don't want to see you miss more money because you are out too much this season. And he knows that too. You know, Scotty's already been playing hurt in a lot of games in this middle part of the season just to avoid losing too many games. You know, he missed so many games at the beginning of the season with a face fracture from Jokic, and then another injury after that he can't afford to. And he's been playing probably in games that he would have came out in other times if he had the games to afford to sit out. So we'll have to see. I think he will play tonight because in some ways he might want those 3 games in his back pocket for the rest of the season, just in case. So yeah, good to see you, HC. Smooth saying, I voted yesterday. At least the Liberals got official party status again at the provincial level. That's progress. Exactly. And like I said, the system of government in Canada is not right at this point. It's really messed up. You know, I think the 2-party system in the United States doesn't work either. But having so many parties like this, and then only one party really has for one side is one party, it really does divvy things up and makes things all screwed up. It really, really does. It's like some sort of political strategist figured this out and say, well, this is the way we can make PC have a better chance to win, is if there's multiple parties on the other side and we have our system work this way with percentages. Because quite often, the PCs in Ontario are not the majority. They're not. You could take the whole population of Ontario and the percentage of like 67% don't vote. Then there's like 30% that vote a Liberal or NDP. And then there's like 20% that actually vote like for the PC, and even less sometimes. So we're being governed by like a quarter of our population or less. And that's broken. That's not proportional representation. And that's why the movement to change the government to be proportional representation for the people is taking a lot of steam, and is the best way to make it back to a true democracy. Because in some ways, I don't think that the government's the system for Canada is actually a democracy, because it's been rigged to be this way at this point. And that's a problem. But hey, you know what? If people get really pissed off at the Conservatives and the PC and Trump and them, maybe it'll turn around and there'll be a Liberal premier of Ontario again, or an NDP one. I'd prefer an NDP one, honestly. It's not like I'm very happy with the Liberal Party. I feel like the Liberal Party is a lot like the Democratic Party in the United States. It's a false front to be like, oh, we're going to be the opposition to the other side. But actually, y'all are the same side, and you just act like you're going to fight them, but you never do. The NDP has more teeth to it to actually get stuff done. So in some ways, it's like, yeah, I get the problems with the Liberal Party, but I have to support something against the true evil of the PC party. And that's the thing. People have paid more rent for rent in the last few years because of the PCs. They've had to pay more taxes in certain ways. They say they don't have to pay more taxes, but they have. And that money is not going to services like schools and hospitals. It's going into the weird contracts with people like Therme. So, yeah, it's all messed up. It's stupid. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. I appreciate you, Reggie, for voting yesterday. I really, really do. Kaz is saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Free crew. Me and my wife voted yesterday. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody that voted, even if it feels like it didn't do nothing, it did. It did. You did your part. And that action, practicing it and exercising that action like a bicep curl is important to continue to do that action. It all matters. And in the end, it will matter over time, more and more. That's right. Nameless is saying, tonight I want to see an all rookie starting lineup. Really? I don't know how we'll do this because two of our rookies are out on the shelf. We can't do this. We can't do this. One of them's got a broken nose. The other one's got a torn MCL. And so we could get Jamal, Jonathan, and Jacoby out there, but they're the only three rookies that are available. The Jameson's hurt; he's out. He's going to have a mask on his face if he plays, but he's not. They don't probably want him to play. He has a real, true broken nose, and yeah, I don't see this. I don't see them starting. I don't see these guys starting. I think we're gonna get barbecue Yak Dick. Is who we're gonna start tonight. Yeah. Kareem saying my vote wasn't enough, but at least my ass got out and voted. As a black person, it's important I get out and vote. My ancestors worked too hard for me not to. I'm also convinced my wife, as we are in the same boat. This is exactly right. This is exactly right. Kareem is exactly right. And I applaud him for looking at it this way because he's exactly right. I'm going to give him a dunk. Usually he gets dunks for being funny, but he's getting a dunk for just speaking the truth right here. It's right on point. Wow, Kareem, you're at 42. I didn't realize you were up in the 40s now. There you go. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that died and fought and wished and hoped and wanted to the ability to vote and didn't have it in the centuries before us. Especially people of color. And that's the thing is like now that you got your right to vote, they want to make you so apathetic that you won't even utilize it. That's the trick here. They can't take your right to vote away from you because human rights and equality and progress. So we'll just make it very unattractive to you to want to vote. That's the ploy here. That's the trick. It's been this way all along. They want you to feel like you have no chance to make anything happen. And in some ways, it is rigged, but we have to do the action. We have to practice it either way. And I commend Kareem and his wife for going to do that. Everybody who's saying they voted yesterday, I'm really proud of all you guys. I really am. It may not have been the result we wanted, but you know what? There were gains, like we said. And also, listen, I wasn't expecting Ford to lose. I was not like want to watch last night and say, "Oh, Ford won. I'm so upset and in shambles." Adriana called me and she's like, "Aren't you upset?" I'm like, "No," because I couldn't totally control this, and I kind of was ready for it. In some ways, I'm just very happy that I voted in an election in Canada for Canada because I'm proud to be Canadian and live in Canada, and it wants to stay as Canada. And Wayne Gretzky, you're so upset about all the backlash and your wife and people are coming to defend you. Well, maybe you shouldn't be siding with Nazi pieces of shit, Wayne Gretzky. Then you wouldn't get all this bullshit right now that's happening to you because you have to go and be MAGA with Trump. You idiot. You idiot. All right, let's keep going. All right, let's see. Smooth is saying Sixers pick is top 6 protected. As of now, the Raptors are 5 and the Sixers are 6. The lottery ball standings. Ooh-hoo-hoo. Yeah, I guess in some ways Nick better lean into losing because if they fall out, like the balls could screw them too. Similar to what happened with us in the Spurs, where somebody jumps up in the draft and they all of a sudden get knocked down to 7 or 8, and the pick goes to Oklahoma City. Yeah. Yeah. So in some ways, the Sixers would be smart to shut down everybody who's hurt on their team right now. Embiid, Maxey, and just go full tank right now because you want to keep your top 6, right? You want to keep your top 6. And that's funny to me. What if they get screwed because 2 teams get lucky with ping pong balls and they jump ahead of them and knock them down a couple pegs, and all of a sudden Oklahoma City's got an 8th pick in this draft? Oh, hilarious. That would be funny to me, man. Kaz saying Dougie still won, but we tried. Well, either way, it is what it is. And hopefully, he's not popular right now. In some ways, he is very unpopular and he's in trouble. I think what's happened is the reason why he did a snap election is because he knows he's going to become more and more unpopular very soon because of different things that are happening. And he needed to get more time ahead. And this is like just before he's going to get even more unpopular. Watch, seriously. So I think this was like very self-serving. In some ways, I don't agree with the waste of spending. Like, I can't stand that we just spent $189 million of taxpayers' dollars just to have an election all of a sudden, just really for himself. And then think about all the money that was spent on advertising by the PC party and the other parties. There's just waste. I hate the advertising campaigns and how they spend so much on attack ads and just bullshit. It's like that money could be going to our hospitals and our schools, and it's a waste. They're fucking wasted on such bullshit. They need to overhaul a lot of things. And the crazy expenditures on advertising for politics is really a waste of money. And also, I'll add the Super Bowl ad that he fucking paid for Ontario. That was a waste of money too. It's like this dude is wasting our damn money. Is what I'm saying. He's saying he's not wanting to spend money, but he spends money in the stupidest fucking ways, like giving money to Therme and all that stuff. Yeah, HC saying I don't agree with y'all politically, but still love y'all Raptors. Well, peace with that, HC. That's cool. But yeah, I'll always be very left leaning. It's just who I am, and in some ways, it's the right way for people. In some ways, it's like, all right, if you want to be right leaning and money oriented, well, you're not for humanity. And more as we go, it's going to be like that. So it's like you can choose. You can choose. You want to be for business and money and making as much fake ass money in this world that isn't really a real thing. It's just something we made up and all agreed to. Or we could be for people and taking care of the old, the tired, the poor, the sick, the young, the vulnerable, the disabled. Or we could be just all about the bottom line and just worried about profits and margins and taxes. Oh, don't tax me on this. Well, I'd much rather be taxed and see the fruits of the taxes in hospitals and schools and roads and park rangers than see a whole bunch of tax money that we're paying into already. And who knows where the fuck it goes when right-wing politicians are in charge, because it's certainly not going back to the public in services for what we need. And that's why I say, okay, you go ahead and stand on that side, the money side, the anti-human side. And as things go further, HC, well, maybe you'll have to search your conscience at some point and maybe change a little politically. How about that? How about that? Trevor J saying, Lex, what you think of the Tempo press conference with audio? Finally, a week later, I finally get to hear this press conference with Teresa and Monica Rogers Wright introducing her as the GM. Yeah, it was nice to hear. I think that they were well spoken. I think it was pretty run of the mill, as far as like not really anything too extraordinary out of it. I like some of the questions. Somebody asked Monica, since you were a defensive oriented player in your WNBA career, are you going to be looking for players that are defensive oriented to build this Tempo team? I like that question. There's been some very interesting questions there. Monica had a lot of good answers, saying that it's a privilege and a thrill to play, to be working in this market of Toronto. It's like just such a voracious, passionate sports market that people get behind their teams, and that she feels honored to be the very first GM of the Toronto Tempo. So it was a nice little press conference, not anything too like out of the ordinary, very standard kind of press conference, very introductory and just standard run of the mill. I'm glad that they got it fixed and they put it out finally, Teresa, because I did want to hear it. And it's an injustice that it came out before and it was quiet. And in some ways it looked foolish. But thank God you guys got it worked out and put up there, because it's important. This is something that a person like me that wants to cover your team needs to hear. And I was glad I finally got to hear it. Yeah, Trevor, thank you for finding it and giving it to me and letting me see it, Trevor. You have been so valuable. You and Monique are always bringing me the stuff I need to see. And I appreciate you both for it. Cass saying my writing NDP has won since 2022. Yeah, my last writing when I was in Leslieville, really solidly Peter Tobbins, NDP. And that I was very happy living in that orange section of Toronto and Leslieville. But now I'm out in the woods and I'm in a blue riding at this point. And, and my riding where I'm at now, it wasn't even close. PC had a real majority. And this wasn't a place where if a coalition of Liberal and NDP had come together, they would have beaten PC, because PC in my area is 60% here and they just win here. But I added my little red drop into it for the red candidate that was the closest to fighting it. I like things like Guelph being green and the north of Ontario is all orange, and the city of Toronto is all orange and stuff like that. It's just, the thing about it is the people in the country don't understand. In some ways they hate the people in the city and they punish them by voting PC, but they don't understand that they're getting screwed over by Doug Ford and the PC government just as much as the people in the city. The tax rates are going up because of his stupid different projects. Like he wants to build highways. And I don't understand how people that live around the Greenbelt can't be mad at Doug Ford for his ideas about opening the Greenbelt in that scandal that happened. It's like we don't remember that he tried to sell out our Greenland, our Greenbelt, our farmlands to developers behind our back. The people that live around that area should have been voting against him because of that kind of stuff. But I don't know. There's a miscommunication. In some ways, the PC group has a better strategy and ways of going about things. And obviously, divvying up the votes between the orange and the red is really, really detrimental. Really, really detrimental. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Carlos saying, yeah, I don't understand how much on how our electoral system works. I need to read up on it. It's dumb. In some ways, it's like if you really took the percentage of votes that were for PC, it doesn't really add up to a majority. It's just a really convoluted system that rewards them for being the only party that's on their side of politics. And because there's like four for the other side, it's like the Green, the NDP, and the Liberal, and then there's sometimes an extra party that's just taking a little bit of it at the bottom. What you do, Kaloy, is you go and look at all the results and add the NDP with the Liberals and see if that actually beats the PC. And then you're like, holy crap, they would have won if they'd all just vote together. And a lot of Scarborough's like this. There's some PC ridings in Scarborough that absolutely should not be PC if the other two parties would get their act together and the people there were more informed. Yeah, it's too bad. Trevor's saying Toronto built Canada's first subway in 1954. That's interesting. That's an interesting little non sequitur factoid. Monique is saying news and notes. Keep your eyes on. I'm on NBA XL this week on NBA TV Canada for a recent 90s night with Tracy Murray and Muggsy Bogues Q&A. That's fantastic. This must be the thing that Mo had under wraps that she wouldn't tell us yet, that she had surprises coming down the road. And this is it. So Mo's going to be making an appearance on NBA TV Canada this week on NBA XL in a segment with Muggsy Bogues and Tracy Murray. That's fantastic. I can't wait to see that. When it comes out, definitely share it with me on the Facebook group, because I don't have NBA at TV to watch that in that way. So, yeah, that's awesome, Mo. I can't wait to see what you did. And fantastic. That's so cool. Mo's just progressing more and more in her career and what she's doing as a Toronto Raptors super fan. And she is just all kinds of cool stuff happening all the time. There you go. Kaz has got the Canadian flag out there. That's the one thing is that, well, Dougie, you're going to be in charge still. Well, don't sell us out. The fucking orange face. Seriously. Don't sell us out. That's what I'm going to say. If you do, I'm going to say, I told y'all he would, is what I say. I want to be wrong about that, because I really do feel like he's a fucking turncoat, and he will turn on us for money in a heartbeat if it is in his self-interest for his own pocketbook. He won't stand up for Canada. I don't trust him for this shit. But I'm proud to be Canadian. I want to stay Canadian for a long, long time. And I'm willing to stand on guard for thee, is what I'm saying right here. Yeah, Trevor's saying ESPN, they're saying the Raptors will pick Jaden Quaintance at 5. That is weird. I've never heard that name before. And ESPN, what are you doing? You're just like throwing darts at dartboard and saying, oh, this name. Like, I don't know. A lot of mock drafts are showing us with Malak, and I like that. I like that. The fans are figuring it out too. People are saying, yeah, this guy and Duke, call him Malak. I'm thinking like he's a good fit for the Raptors for next year. I'm like that too. Yeah. Reggie's saying, can't lie, Lex. I was tempted not to vote. I went to the gym and got home and said to myself, I have to do it. Every year I voted once I became legal age. That's really good. That's really, really good. I was younger. I didn't vote in certain elections, and I've regretted it. There's 2 elections in particular that I did not vote in that I'm so mad at myself. The first one was 2000 with Gore and Bush. And I was in Florida. I could have voted for Al Gore. And I didn't, because I was a young 25-year-old kid that just was like not politically active or worried about it. But when I saw what happened and how close the election was with the recount in Florida, I was like, damn, I can't do this ever again. I need to vote no matter what, even if it seems like my vote won't matter, because it was down to thousands of votes in the state of Florida in election of 2000 U.S. presidential election. The second time I didn't vote, and I really regret it, was the time that Hillary got beat by Trump. In 2016, I did not vote for Hillary. I really regret that. And I just thought that Trump was such a joke. There was no way he could have won. And, well, he did. And now we're in this place where we are now at this point. And it's absolutely dreadful. So that's part of the reason why I always vote, is because I've been burned twice on stupid ass shit with 2000 and 2016 U.S. elections. Every single election in between, I voted in the presidency. I voted for John Kerry. I voted for Barack Obama twice, and I did vote for Joe Biden this time, and I voted for Kamala Harris in this election that just happened too. So I'll take my opportunity to vote in both elections on both sides of the border as I can right now. I will. Yeah, you got to. That's right. Cass saying all that money wasted on lawn signs. I know. It's not even the lawn signs. The lawn signs aren't that much. It's the ads. The ads. Imagine how much money Doug Ford had to pay YouTube to spam your watching YouTube with these dumbass attack ads on the Liberal Party. Seriously. It's like that's such a waste of money. Instead, if you're a good leader, you divert that money to feeding the homeless, sheltering the homeless, and feeding children and feeding people that need food. That's the thing. Once again, money is a vehicle for people to serve their needs. It's not a vehicle for people to sit on a huge pile and just play some sort of video game where they think they're getting a higher score than everybody else because their fucking net worth is higher than everybody else. No, this isn't a video game like Space Invaders, you idiots that are billionaires. In some ways, money is a necessary evil for us to be able to do trades and goods and services to get the products that we need in our lives. And well, when people hoard all that and they hoard this and that, people starve, people die, and that's not good for humanity. That's not good for humanity. It's evil. It's absolutely evil. Let's see. Seymour saying, "What pop gang from the Mountain Time region? Good to see the sheriff, Seymour Pape. Always love to see my guy, the city slicker, in the chat with me. That's right, the sheriff. That's right, nameless saluting. And Common Crazy saying no swearing Fridays. Nah, we swear on Fridays. It's about to be the weekend. Maybe no swearing Sundays. That makes sense. But swearing Fridays, fuck yeah. We're ready for the weekend. Yeah, lover boy, Mike Reno. Everybody's swearing for the weekend. Fuck yeah. Everybody's ready to rip them off. Woo. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's see. Instagram stories. All right, let's do that, Trevor. We'll do Instagram stories real quick. Let's see what's going on. We'll start with Kelly. Kelly's talking about being proud of being from Canada and Kamloops and Team Canada stuff. I love seeing Kelly standing with national pride, talking about Canada, and that we need more stuff like this to tell people around the world we like being Canada. We're going to stay Canada, and we have a patriotism and a love for our country and our identity that is important. So let's continue this. Yes, let's continue this. First career triple-double for Zion Williamson, apparently. And I think that maybe Kelly Olynyk had something to do with it. What a weird thing. Like, who would have thought that the person that's going to unlock Zion Williamson to be a better NBA player is Kelly Olynyk? Is this weird, man? I bet you RJ's kind of like calling Kelly and you say, man, what you're doing with Zion right now, I'm so thankful, man. Grateful, man. You're helping my friend, man, because he's been in trouble in his career, man. Kelly, you're unlocking him, man. Thank you. He's like, my pleasure, RJ. Zion's a nice guy. Whatever's going on there with Zion Williamson and the chemistry with Kelly Olynyk, it's crazy. Who would have had that on their bingo card as far as this season? Seriously. Oshai Abaji has got Maniac Movers. Big thank you. So you had to do some moving. So Manic Movers, moving, junk removal, and cleaning. So if you need a call, you can call them. Much better than a company I used to talk about on this channel. Manic Movers. They'll help you move. That's right. There you go. Toronto Tempo has got the spotlight on Tanisha Giddens, Concordia University. Talking about her. There's Mariah Amber getting her Sephora Toronto Tempo gear and open it up. Tomorrow's your last day to get that free Sephora Toronto Tempo hat. So go to your Sephora locations to get that. They had some sort of event with Teresa Resch speaking. She was wearing a very nice dress in that picture that I see right there. Kyle Lowry has got the Kalo Elite Tryouts. This is a time of the year where some of the basketball players do teams. They have teams that they play in leagues. And well, in Philadelphia, Kalo Elite Tryouts are going on for Kyle Lowry's Elite team, 8th grade and 10th grade students, $20 to register, be on time and ready to start. And the game it's in Philadelphia. This will be on Sunday. And no, wait, what's the date? He doesn't even have the date on here. That's weird. You should put the date on here, Kyle. Emmanuel has the same thing going on. The IQ Elite Tryouts are going on in Maryland, where 6th, 7th, and 8th graders can try out for being on IQ's elite team. The tryouts are March 1st and March 2nd, and they will be in Townsend, Maryland in the afternoon. So, yeah, you want to play on IQ's elite team, Maryland kids, you can get out there. And Kalo's team is in Philadelphia. So these great point guards, Raptors point guards, are having elite tryouts for their youth league teams. Very, very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff. I like that. Let's see. Also, Emmanuel's got he got a screenshot that they were first in the world in the Pro-Am on his NBA 2K. Wow, We the North 2K is killing it right now. Matchup with this, man. There you go. There you go. I guess maybe he's taunting We the North 2K because I don't know if he's playing with them anymore. Team Lit is his team now, I think. So, yeah, he's challenging them. He's saying, we want to come at you. We're first now. So, Emmanuel was playing the 2K last night. Jamal Shed has got somebody on blast. Who is that? Who's that? Somebody from Texas football. Thorpe Award winner. There's a guy who just won the Thorpe Award. I don't know who that is. I don't know his name. It doesn't have the name on there. It's a friend of Jamal Sheds from Texas. So, and yeah, let's see. I guess that's the same guy as a track and field guy or something like that. Let's see. Eugenio Moroy has gone to Kalani Jewelry, the sponsor of the Raptors. You see Kalani Jewelry advertisement all there. They made him a big chain with the 97 on the emblem. It's a nice chain, pretty big Brooke Baby Stunna chain there. Pretty cool. Siakam's walking around backstage and talking about being a pacer, the mentality as being a competitor, night in, night out, that kind of stuff. Norman Powell, understand the grind gear. Check it out. Let's see. Lloyd is putting on blast Mobo for his stat line in the last game. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. So what about Lloyd is proud of his friend Jonathan Mobo for excelling in his rookie year. Like to see Lloyd putting them on blast. Let's see who else we got. Game day. 9:05 actually are starting at 8 o'clock too. So sadly, both games will be on right at the exact same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, because they're both Central Time games. Wisconsin Herd, 9:05, and then the Bulls and the Raptors in Chicago. So those are the 2 games tonight. Jonathan Mobo has his stat line up too, the same one that Lloyd put up. And then Grady is in some new commercials. He's in the Gillette commercial, of course, shaving his face and shaving all the peach fuzz off of there. This or that. He's doing a this or that there with Tracy McGrady also in the Gillette ads. There's your Instagram stories for today with Grady Dick and Gillette and all that kind of stuff. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Carlos saying fucking PP already has attack ads on Mark Carney. He's not the liberal leader yet. Shaking my head. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, when will people stop falling for the hate and stop falling for this bullshit and them telling you how to think? Why don't you see that these people are trying to tell you how to think and think for yourself? They're trying to tell you that this and this about raising taxes. It's bullshit. In fact, that was one of the main attack ads that Doug Ford used against the liberals in this election was they're going to raise the taxes when their record actually wasn't raising taxes. That's a crazy thing. I don't understand how conservative governments keep saying we're not going to raise taxes. We want to cut taxes. And then they actually do. Like the worst deficit was left by Trump after his first presidency. And he's doing all this stuff with Elon right now to cut efficiency, to get things better. But he's actually spending more money and wasting more money doing this and adding more to the deficit, even while he's doing this Doge bullshit. It's such distraction and kind of like lying. They're just basically lying. It's like the right wingers just lie to our faces. It's like Trump's going to say, oh, no, I'm not going to do tariffs. But then he turns around, he's going to do tariffs. You can't believe anything these motherfuckers say. And it goes for the PCs up here. They're liars. And they will lie to their teeth and then turn around and show you that they lied a month later. And y'all don't get it. So don't listen to these motherfuckers. They're lying to you. And they're going to try and make you think the other side's lying. The other side is humanitarian, wants good things for everybody. The one side wants only good things for the rich. Trust me. Trust me. That's it right there. Yeah, it's too bad that the system is like that. Seriously. It's too bad. Common Crazy saying, does who we draft dictate whether we trade quickly or Barrett? No. I'm not talking about this, Common Crazy. This is a subject that people keep coming in here this week, and I'm like denying it just like Mutombo and saying, no. Get that garbage out of here. We are fine. We have everything fitting. Listen, this is why I keep saying we don't want a top 5 pick. We want to be 5 through 10 because the pay scale for those picks is much lower than a top 5 draft pick that has to get paid a certain amount in the salary cap that will make it hard for us to manage things. If after the first 3 guys, the rest, the 4 through 12 are about the same talent, why the fuck would you need the 4th or 5th pick to draft and be in a higher bracket with having to pay them when we could easily pick a 7th or 8th and get the same level of player and at a better cost? So this is the strategy I'm having right here. First of all, the salary cap's all fitting and nothing has to do anything. Nobody has to leave because Bobby's like that. And he did a really good job. And he's got it so that we have an allowance for the first round pick in the salary cap for next year. But in some ways, it can't be the first pick because if it's the first pick, it's going to blow us over the tax and it's going to make us have to pay more in some ways. So I'm all about guiding the plane somewhere between 6 and 10 getting a very high level pick that's hopefully a power forward or a center and paying them that money. And there's nobody needs to go anywhere. Trading Quickly or Barrett does not need to be investigated or looked at because they're all fitting underneath the cap right now. And this is just bullshit that's coming from different people that don't think that we are good enough to have everything. You know, the Celtics, the Knicks, the Lakers, all kinds of other teams can have a bounty of multiple great players on their team, and nobody's asking them about who needs to be traded away. Is anybody asking the Celtics who needs to get traded from their team right now? No. So why the fuck do we do this, Raptors Nation? Why are we doing this common crazy? We don't have to trade anyone. So drop this narrative and this line because it's bullshit. Our guys are under contract for the next 3 years, and it all fits. So nobody needs to be traded. I don't know why people think that. They just automatically think that because, we got Brandon Ingram now. That's way too much for us to have. So we have to obviously trade someone. No, you don't, because Bobby Webster's good at his job, and he did a good job fitting it all in. So, yeah, that's the thing. So realize this and go forward with this. We don't have to trade anybody. We can get a draft pick and go forward with everybody we got, and we're going to be good. Trust me. Most saying, and a new interview podcast coming soon next month with college student. Can't wait to share on all fronts with the Raptors. There you go, Mo. She's got stuff in motion. She's got wheels in motion. And I love to hear that she's keeping busy and she's doing stuff that she loves to do. That's fantastic. G saying the Canadian soccer coach is American and made an amazing speech on Canada and how proud he is to coach them and pushing back. Yeah, this in some ways we need to continue this distinction and understand there is a difference. And we're not trying to join the United States in any kind of way. That is deeply unpopular. And, the few people that are like that here are brainwashed idiot Maple MAGA fuck faces. Yeah, well, they're getting a backlash here too. Like, people are finding out if somebody's for any kind of thing with Trump, and they're boycotting their shit up here, whether it's their business or whoever they are. So it's bad business to be in with that side or even with the states at this point. And I commend everybody who's buying Canadian or around the world. That's the other thing. You don't have to just buy Canadian. If you're worried about not being able to get what you want, buy something from Italy, buy something from Ukraine, Australia, Mexico, Italy, England. There's all kinds of other countries that import stuff here, and we can get all the products we need without buying anything American. And it's going to hurt them way more than it's going to hurt us, this whole thing that's happening right now. Because honestly, we've been subsidizing the United States companies by just blindly buying their brands blindly, loyally, without ever kind of thinking about why we buy this or that. Well, when we think about why we buy it and we don't want to buy it, we find alternates, they lose money. And we actually help enrich our own economy by helping Canadian businesses get extra business all of a sudden. What's not to like about this? In some ways, they're idiots. They messed around and Trump found out that this is really bad business. And in some ways, this will make him more unpopular on the other side because he's hurt the bottom line for American companies doing business in Canada, because that's just exactly what it is. And we may never come back. In fact, that's the thing. They're saying today is the boycott day. This is the day y'all aren't supposed to spend any money. Don't buy gas. Don't go to Walmart. Don't go to any fast food. Don't spend any money in any kind of way as much as possible today. That's what they want you to do. And don't just do it today. Do it going forward. In some ways, we could be less consumer lifestyle. We buy a lot of extra frivolous shit that we don't actually need in our lives. And that's why some people are just making stupid money in stupid ways. And some people don't have any money because they're spending money on shit they actually don't need. So really figure out what your needs are, your basic needs, and take care of them and buy Canadian and keep it in our economy here. And it will all be better for it. You guys may actually be more healthier because you're not buying as much crap that you really didn't need that was actually making you more unhealthy. So let's think about this more and be more thoughtful in how we spend our money as people, consumers, and maybe even consume less, because that's the best way. I've gone that direction more in my life already before all this happened, where I was cutting down on just expenses for, a lot of different reasons. But in some ways, you realize that I don't need half this shit. Like if I walk into Walmart and I buy all this shit, I didn't need any of this. I don't even know why I bought this. Think about those kind of spending trips that you do and cut them out. And especially today, because it's February 28th. And this is the day that everybody in the States is on strike to buy anything as a consumer. And we should be doing the same up here in Canada also, in solidarity. That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah. Carlos saying, yeah, Alan March is my new favorite American besides Scotty Barnes. There you go. Standing there's a lot of really nice, amazing Americans down south being very supportive towards Canada in this situation. In some ways, they're probably like cringe and like embarrassed by Trump and his overtures against us and the way he's acting. And they really want to compensate for it by saying, we love Canada. We love Canada the way it is. And we are an ally to Canada as Americans in the United States. Because, yeah, it's stupid. His rhetoric is really dangerous and stupid. It's disrespectful. And in some ways, this is a madman, an idiot, a demented, soft-headed fuckface is what we're hearing from him. That, yeah, Smooth saying this Embiid trade speculation is getting crazy, man. Raptors are being linked to him. Don't listen to this shit. Listen, this is all bullshit. First of all, the trade deadline's over. So there's not going to be any move anytime soon, right? If he gets moved, it'll be this summer. So I'm not worried about this. I have no anxiety about this. I trust that Bobby Masai are not trying to get Joel Embiid and that this is just hot air bullshit. It could even be run it back Philly, people kind of trying to put this shit on us because they're so frustrated with Joel and they hate us. And they're like, well, let's send the thing we hate to the team we hate. And that's all this is. I don't think there's any truth to this in any kind of way. I think this is a manufactured bullshit by some people out there, and they're pushing it. And I don't think we have any interest in Joel Embiid. Trust me. I don't think we do, honestly. If we do, I'll be like, all right, maybe they do need to be fired. Seriously, that may be the thing that made me say, yeah, Masai, you're done. You shouldn't be working anymore. If they actually went and got Embiid, listen to me, Masai. If you actually thought about getting Joel to come here, I'd probably start saying, yeah, you need to be fired. And I'm your biggest supporter in some ways. And I'll say we never need to fire Masai. But if this happened and I was like, why are we getting Joel? I say, man, maybe they did lose it. Seriously, that may be a sign to me. So I don't think this is real in any kind of way. It sounds so stupid. Really, seriously. There's an article on ESPN saying that Joel may never be playing like he was before when he was healthy the last time. That he never ever will reach that ability to play at that level physically because his body is just destroyed at this point. So I don't want damaged goods, and I especially don't want a big dummy named Joel on this team. Yeah. Let's see. G saying that's his name, Carlo JS. Such a great role model. The Alan Marsh. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Smooth saying, why would the Raptors do that? Joel is going to need further surgery. He said it himself. Yeah, we're not going to do this. This is bullshit, hot air. In some ways, I would tell y'all, if you read a rumor like that and it sounds implausible, ignore it. And don't even bring it to me. You guys have brought it to me twice this week. And I've said, this sounds so ridiculously stupid. Why are we even wasting time talking about this? So there's tons of dumb things that people say all around the NBA every day. It doesn't mean we have to carry them on and forward them in any kind of way. Just ignore it and say, this is implausible. This is not likely. And I want to ignore this and not waste Lex's time by bringing up Joel Embiid to the Raptors rumors. They're absolutely stupid. And just a waste of time to talk about, honestly. Let's see. Carlos saying, yeah, it's reported that Embiid is looking for a cure-all surgery. Cure-all surgery is called retirement. That's what it is. Carlos saying also, I love that Karina Gold, a liberal leadership candidate, is proposing a UBI. Yeah. In some ways, it's necessary. And, there's UBI in European countries, and it's very successful. It really is a nice safety net for society. And we don't want to be like the United States. The United States is a capitalistic, parasitic society where very rich people feed off the very poor and vulnerable. And it's getting worse and worse. There's going to be more and more homeless. There's going to be more and more starving people. There's going to be more and more death because there's not a good safety net in the United States. And it's just the rich getting richer. Now, we don't have to be like them. In some ways, we're in between Europe and the United States. We're small enough to be able to do more safety net stuff and be more progressive, like the Scandinavian countries that have very, very good outcomes in all kinds of indicators in demography, like life expectancy, happiness ratings, childcare, all kinds of stuff. It'd be much better. We don't emulate that side of things. And that's the PC government wants to be more like the United States government and privatizing healthcare and schools and shit like that. Whereas we need to go in the other direction with the left side of things and start making our stuff more like the European countries because their model's working and the U.S. is not. So it'd be stupid to go in the direction of the side that's not working and not towards the side that is. It'd be dumb as fuck. So I'll say that right there in some ways. And UBI is going to be necessary because of AI and taking everybody's jobs. AI is already starting to do that. There's all kinds of people there's jobs that are just disappearing off the market and they're just not there anymore. So in some ways, if you want a social safety net, you have universal basic income. Well, everybody should be able to have a roof and food on their table and be able to take care of themselves. People that don't think that should happen, they're fucking evil capitalist pieces of shit that fucking are not humanitarians. And all they care about is enriching themselves and they're selfish as fuck. And these are not the people that I like in this world. In some ways, rents getting increased and landlords getting richer is not what we need. We need more food on the table for the children, for nutrition, so that they can learn better and be smarter. But that's part of the design there. Take away money from education, take away food from the kids. They can be dumber and easier to control because they're not getting nourished enough and they're not getting educated right because there's not funding for their schools. That's all part of the sick, twisted plan of the right wingers to subjugate us more and more and easier controlling us. Is, well, you take money away from education, people are dumber, they're easier to control as sheep. And that's just the damn truth of it, man. It's very, very evil and insidious. The deeper pillars of right-wing ideology in this world right now. It's based on white supremacy, racism, and subjugating minorities in systems to feed off of them parasitically from the top with billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. So that's just how it is. If you don't think I'm telling the truth, if you think I'm full of shit, well, you're fucking part of the problem. And anybody who's neutral and saying stuff like, oh, the corporations aren't evil and they're not wrong, you're fucking on the wrong side too. They are evil and they're wrong. And anybody who thinks that they aren't, you're an idiot. And if you're neutral in this subject, you're a part of the oppressors, you fuckface, is what I say right there. Yeah, there you go. Kareem's saying Jesse Marsh made one of the best Canadian speeches, and he's fucking American. He made me proud to be Canadian. I advise everyone to check out his well-opinionated press. There you go. I like that. Mischief saying the Raptors are second last in three-pointers made and third last in free throws, fifth last in turnovers, and fourth biggest weakness, three-point percentage. Raptors should draft 4 or 5 in second-round guys that fill that weakness. I think that the Raptors need to continue to develop the shooters we've already got, like Grady and Jacoby and other people, to get their three-point shooting up there. But yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have guys that are more like Jamison Battle and Grady around, a couple more sharpshooters. I mean, these are interesting stats, Mischief. And it does really show that we have some areas where we need to improve. But in some ways, the great thing is these are areas that are easier to improve in some ways. Like free throw shooting is easier to improve than most things on an NBA team. They just got to shoot better at the free throws and practice them. Well, hopefully three-point shooting can increase also. I would say this. I feel like the Raptors three-point shooting right now is better than it was 2 years ago in the last year, Nick. We had really, really poor free three-point shooting overall as a team. And, well, it's improved, I think, in the last 2 years of Darko being around. So we're on the right direction coming up with our three-pointers and more of them made in a higher percentage than like the last couple of years of Nick. Think about that. Think about that progress from that. Carlos saying, while American hockey players and coaches are pussies, shying away from the political issues. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, that's the thing. Gretzky needs to fucking come out and say exactly where he stands because we all think he's a turncoat. And he won't. He won't come out. He's being a little pussy himself. If he's going to have his wife and Donald Trump to speak for him, you're an idiot, man. You need to speak yourself. You need to clear things up because in some ways you're ruining your legacy. And honestly, you've done severe damage to like your reputation has been tarnished completely. I'll never think about Wayne Gretzky the same way ever again. I met the man. He seems like a nice guy, but he's a douchebag, obviously. If he's willing to allow himself to be used as a tool by Donald Trump like this, he's using him. That's the sad thing. Gretzky, you're being used by Donald, and you're being used like a pawn. And that's so sad. You're better than that. And you're great. You're supposed to be great. Well, you're not great, bro. You're fucking bootlicking Nazi fuckface is what you are. Yeah, that's what you are, man. You're a bootlicking Nazi. Anybody who supports MAGA and Trump, you're Nazis at this point. Elon has done the salute. Y'all are white supremacists against minorities and DEI, and you're fucking Nazis. That's just the damn truth. You're going to go ahead and put illegal immigrants in concentration camps. That's what they did to Jewish people in Nazi Germany. Well, it's the same shit. It's just a different flavor. It's just the same fucking ideologies on the download, same common threads as Adolf Hitler and the Nazi party 100 years ago as Donald Trump and the MAGA party right now. And anybody who's denying that or said, oh my gosh, or getting mad at me or censoring people, oh, you shouldn't be able to say that. That's so wrong. No, call it what it is. It's the damn truth. It's the damn truth right there. That's right. Let's see. Trevor's saying, I sponsored the girls basketball team at Pace Center for girls high school with all their uniforms in Fort Lauderdale. That's really cool. That's very, very cool. Trevor, I love to hear that. That's fantastic. Carlos saying it's probably Embiid's agent floating this shit out. That could be true. It could be Embiid's agent. It could be Daryl Morey doing some shit too. Who knows who it is? It doesn't matter. It's bullshit either way. Kareem saying, Lex, let me see that t-shirt. It looks dope. Yeah, this is a shirt I got at the 905 game the other day. This is the jersey for last year for Black Heritage Month with the Underground Railroad train on it. And I'm wearing it on the last day of February for Black History Month today. And also the 905 are playing today. But yeah, I love this shirt. I got this at the game when I went in December with Adriana and Monique and Meredith and Neil when we were all at the Westchester Knicks 905 game. Yeah, it's cool. I like this shirt a lot. And it was on discount too when I bought it. Kareem saying UBI will save this country. It's crazy that during COVID, when everyone was relying on $2K a month, we are able to establish a cell phone business while the communities supported each other. That's what I'm saying. We need to think about where we spend our money because it's so important. If you have a choice between an American gas station and a Canadian gas station, go to the Canadian gas station. Go to Petrocan. Don't go to Esso because that's actually Exxon. Don't go to Shell. You know, you can make little decisions and your money diverted to certain ways is really kind of like a vote every day with the consumer confidence of what you want to put your money towards. Buy all Canadian products at the grocery store, of course. Really analyze where your expenditures go and where that company is. And if it's an American company, cut it out. Seriously, it may be tough on certain things like multimedia stuff and things that you like to do. And you may have some guilty pleasures that you allow to continue. But if you can cut some of this stuff out and cut your expenses in certain ways when it's not totally necessary, you may find that you're living a happier life because you have less in some ways that you just didn't need the extra shit. It was just lying around and just extra. So I say buy local, don't buy corporate, buy Canadian, don't buy American. And do that as much as possible. Support local businesses, support small businesses, because that stays in your neighborhood, in your community, and it doesn't go to some fucking fuckface billionaire that's living in a fucking $100 million house in California. There's nothing to do with Canada. So really think about that. Seriously, that's why I don't buy Amazon stuff. Don't do any Amazon shit. You're enriching Jeff Bezos. Don't fucking buy Teslas. You're helping Elon Musk. If you have a Tesla, take it back. Go get a different car. You know, there's all kinds of different ways to protest with your money. And people are doing that more and more. It's really, really good. It's really, really good. UBI is very helpful. Now, I hope that we can get something like that because in some ways it could be really, really good for humanity because it will bring back more ideas and creativity. When people have their needs taken care of, they can be more like me and be creative and do stuff like my channel or write books or create things that are good for humanity or nice things instead of just the bullshit, you know? So that's part of it. That's part of it right there. Kareem saying Edmonton may be removing Gretzky Drive for his political stance. Yeah, there's a real strong movement to denounce things with him right now, and rightfully so. Honestly, I stand with it. Most saying W stream, W vibes, go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. Raptor Freak Crew strong forever. Just helping Lex limit his comments. Yeah, I'm at 117. I got a couple more segments to do, but I appreciate the cutoff, Mo. Smith saying, rewatching Prison Break. Great show, man. I never watched that show. I never actually watched that show. I'm not really a TV drama guy. I've always been like a half-hour sitcom guy or a reality show guy. I've never really liked hour-long dramas on TV, like Law and Order stuff or anything like that, you know, Heartland or any of that stuff. I'm not really into that genre of TV. I'm more into like situational comedies. Like I used to love old comedies like Family Ties, and Night Court, and Cosby Show when I was a kid, Martin. And then I really do like reality shows. And Survivor, it just started again this week. And that's probably my favorite show that's on TV right now. I don't watch anything else on TV other than Survivor. That's the only show that I'll watch that's new. And they had a brand new season start this week. And it's an awesome cast so far. I really like the cast so far. They've got a young woman from Minnesota who plays hockey with the boys and is autistic and has a PhD. She's something else. And then there's a PE coach from Texas who has a speech impediment who you can't help but root for because it's just like, man, the guy speaks and you're like, man, you know, people made fun of him and screwed him over his whole life. And man, he's such a fighter on the show. It's awesome. Yeah, that show is going to save humanity because in some ways it teaches us how to be human again. There's some moments in the new episode of Survivor that really are like showing good examples of humanity. And that's what we need right now when there's so much cold, dark, nasty shit, corporate decisions by rich people fucking over thousands of people below them, millions of people below them. We need to see the between two people kind of humanity kind of things. Like the guy Kyle messed up his jar, and one of the challenges, he broke it by accident and disqualified him from winning the challenge. And instead of just sitting back and being upset with himself, he went and got more water for the other guy he was competing with and helped him finish the challenge. He didn't have to do that. It was a totally selfless act. And it makes you have faith in humanity when you see that kind of behavior by people. The other one was the Fire Chief Joe reaching out to Eva confiding in him that she's autistic and she cannot tell when people are lying to her. And Joe, instead of taking that information and using it against her, he opened his arms up and said, I've got you. I'm going to protect you. And it was a really powerful moment because it wasn't self-serving and it was the right thing to do in that situation. In some ways, we need those kind of human lessons on a show like Survivor that millions of people watch to remember that we're humans and we're all in this together and we need to look out for each other in a humanistic way more than just fucking worrying about the bottom line dollar fucking bullshit with money all the fucking time. The people that only worry about money are the fucking evil pieces of shit in this world that are ruining it. And that's why we need to fight against them. That's right. Let's see. Kareem's saying the more we support local business, the faster we are able to drive the price down locally. Exactly. There's all kinds of benefits to it. That money stays in circulation in your town, and that makes your town richer. And that is a part right there. Let's see. HC saying the other day I bought some Canadian butter for $2 more. Hurt, but was right. Yeah, I don't care spending a little bit of extra if it's going to stay here. Honestly, that's worth it because you're investing. It's an investment. It's not just the price. It's an investment to help your economy be what you want the economy to be more like. That's the thing. Boycotts really do work if they're done on a mass scale. And I'm hoping that people feel it today. I really, really do. I hope that people feel it in the United States today. And rightfully so, by the Americans and the Canadians do it. And not only just us on this continent, there's people around the world that are fed up that are doing a non-consumer day also. And that's what I'm telling you, man. If these people are only going to value money the most and that's it, the bottom line, and everything else doesn't matter, like lives or people or starving or anything like that, well, let's starve their fucking profits. Let's starve them from making money. Let's hit them where they actually care the most and not give them any money anymore. That's what I'm saying right there. Boom goes the dynamite. Yeah. Kareem saying, I love Prison Break, but the fucking cliffhangers after every show killed me. Yeah, I never watched that show. I watched Oz. I liked Oz, like the older like prison show from HBO. That show was incredibly dark, but really, really well done. Oz, holy crap, that was a crazy show. I still have not watched Battlestar Galactica. Smooth, I'm sorry. I'm rewatching Malcolm in the Middle with Adriana, and we have a plan to go into Breaking Bad immediately after Malcolm in the Middle. She never watched either of these shows, and we want to do a Bryan Cranston marathon. And I wanted her to see Breaking Bad after Malcolm in the Middle to really show the range of that fantastic, one of the greatest actors of our generation, Bryan Cranston. And she had no idea what Breaking Bad is going to be like. She's really enjoyed Malcolm in the Middle. We have like 2 more episodes to watch, and then we move on to Breaking Bad. It's going to be very interesting to rewatch Breaking Bad with her because she's never, ever watched it. And it's not necessarily the genre of show that she likes watching the most. Like, she's not really into dark, gritty stuff. She does watch some Law and Order stuff, but it'll be interesting to see how she feels about this. This is going to be crazy. Yeah. Kareem saying, Lex, that Survivor episode got me so anxious with the puzzle pieces. At the end, it's too bad that team failed like that. They really failed. The orange team was behind, and they made it up and overtook them right at the end. The green team failing and having to go to tribal council. And man, Mitch was awesome after the episode, after they won. He said, "This is why you don't quit." He said that over and over again. I was like, that's so powerful because they could have quit, honestly. And that's what I'm saying. That's the message. They were out and they were nowhere near winning, and they just kept going, and they did end up getting through and not losing. And that's such a good message. There's a lot of good stuff on Survivor. Some people hate that show because it's diverse. Some people say, oh, DI hires because they have such a diverse cast. You know what? Survivor is really smart. They actually make their cast in relation to the demographics of the actual U.S. population. So the people that are on the show actually reflect the percentages of the population and what the diversity of the United States population looks like. This is not unfair having all the different minorities and different people on Survivor. It's actually representative of the actual population of the United States. They actually really do look at the percentages of this is the amount of people in this population that are this and this, and they try and match it up with the cast. So people that get mad about that are crazy, man. It's crazy. Yeah, that was a good episode and fantastic stuff. And well, they kicked out Stephanie, and partly because she didn't want to play hard and she ignored Say when Say wanted to make a women's alliance. She didn't take her seriously, and that was her fatal mistake. And that's why she had to leave, is because she didn't do that. Yeah. Yeah. Seymour saying, bro, I'm not lib or con, but out here in Alberta, it's getting crazy. Orange Man is offering 100,000 US to every Albertan to convert. Lex, your thoughts? I'm all like Hulk Hogan. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. They're going to try and pay people off. That's where they're going to try and come in, is from Alberta, because of Danielle Smith. She's kissing Trump's ass. She went down there with Gretzky, and she's a traitor to Canada, obviously. And, that's crazy. That's what I'm saying. This is awful. This is like the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase shit in real life. I'll pay you $100 to lick the bottom of my shoe. Virgil, take my shoe off and let this kid lick my dirty sock. This is the kind of bullshit this is, man. We learned already that the villain is these guys. And well, it's crazy, man. I know you're neither one, but listen, you need to get on one page. And listen, you don't have to identify as a liberal, but you can identify as a humanistic person that's for humanity. And that's all you need to do. You can put the label whatever you want. They're going to use slurs against the liberals and this and all this stuff. It's bullshit. It's just words. Like I said, at some point, everybody in this world is going to have to decide whether they're for people and humanity and life and humans, or for the almighty God called money and dollar, and selling your soul for that shit and satanic shit. It's basically, that's the only choice. Either you make decisions in your life that are pro humanity or pro bottom line dollar for your damn self in a selfish way. That's the difference right there. Right there. Shanky saying, is Ticketmaster the best site to buy Raptors tickets? I would say this. The best way to buy Raptors tickets is to go to the box office and talk to them on site when you go to the game, because we're not playing well this year. There's no sellouts. So Shanky, if you're going to go to a game, don't buy tickets ahead of time, because the fluctuation of the prices change. And in some ways, people are buying tickets ahead of time. Like we bought tickets for the Spurs next month when Victor was still healthy. Well, we paid more at that time when we should have probably bought him then, because then Victor got hurt and now that ticket price went down. So I would tell you, Shanky, if you're going to a game, don't buy any tickets. Go straight to the arena and buy them there at site in the arena when you get there, straight from the ticket office. You won't pay any processing fees from Ticketmaster or anybody else. You'll pay directly to MLSE and the Raptors, and you'll get a fair price. And I'm telling you right now, the tickets go down closer to the game because they just want people in there. So don't pre-buy tickets. Go to the game and buy them at the box office day of when you get there. That's what I'll tell you right there. Now, if you're going to buy them online, you want to do that, I would go through StubHub or something like that. In some ways, Ticketmaster, yes, they're going to be having some processing fees. And sometimes going through StubHub is better because you're buying it from a season ticket holder already, like my friend Ken, and he's selling tickets all the time on there. And sometimes he has a reasonable price that's lower than what Ticketmaster would sell you that price, because he's just trying to unload the tickets. So remember, time is of the essence when buying Raptors tickets. You buy them early, you're going to pay more. If you buy them closer to the game, well, the deadline to get that ticket sold before the game starts is no good after that. They'll discount it real fast. And if you don't want to do it at the ticket office, you don't want to do it with the apps, go outside and talk to Marco or Bobby, my two friends that are scalpers, and they will have tickets to sell you for cash that may be very, very cheap, because they're just trying to unload them before the game starts. So that's my best advice for you, Shanky. Love seeing you back in the chat. I am Shanky. Raptor Freak, I am Shanky. That's right. Carlos saying, my hope is that all the belittling of Canada by the Orange Man makes us even stronger and independent, where we can be like those Scandinavian countries. Yeah, I think that is going to be a factor in this thing. It's like, fuck around and find out. In some ways, we're more proudly being patriotic for a country. More of us are uniting together. In some ways, this is a way to cross the divide between left and right politics in Canada. I mean, seriously, if these right wingers really want to be pro-Canada, they better fucking stand up to Trump. They better not be holding hands with him or letting him in the back door. And that's why I don't trust them. because in some ways, once again, they only care about lining their pockets. The fat cats, they're grifters. They're grifters. Doug Ford is a grifter. He's grifting off of us. He's a disgusting grifting politician. But if he likes his racket up here without MAGA and USA getting involved, he will protect us from that, right? That's what you think and you hope, right? Because in some ways, the right wingers up here don't want MAGA up here. Some of them may, though. And that's why I don't trust them. That's why we should not trust the PC party in any kind of way. Because I'm telling you, their racket is selling people out for money. And well, Trump's offering Albertans $100,000 to convert to him. Well, imagine how much he's offering Doug Ford or Danielle Smith to convert to what he wants them to do. And that's why we don't want a party that's going to work alongside them that has similar ideologies like the PC party and the right wingers in the fight against MAGA. Because if we have left leaning politicians, they're more likely not to line up and fight against them and protect Canada better. Seriously, I don't trust Ford when it comes to Trump. I think he will sell us out because he sold us out on all kinds of things already. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? That's what I'm going to say right there. Yeah. Let's see. Smooth saying, I would recommend watching Better Call Saul, Lex. Watching them will reframe Breaking Bad in new light. I watched most of Better Call Saul. I think I watched almost all of it up until like the very end. Maybe we'll do that actually, because it's a natural kind of progression from Breaking Bad into Better Call Saul. So we'll see. That's a lot of viewing though. And it seems like getting through 7 seasons of Malcolm in the Middle has taken forever. Let alone 6 seasons of Breaking Bad and their hour-long episodes. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Seymour saying, thank you, Lex. Your opinion goes a long way out west. Listen, man, I love you, man. And listen, I understand not everybody wants to side on either side and they want to be neutral, but we can't do this right now. It really is getting to the point where tyranny is at afoot. And we have to be, if you really don't want to be under a tyrant, if you don't want to live in like a monarchy with Trump, King Trump of North America, we need to get vigilant against this and very hard pressed from the left side of things back towards far right, racist, crazy ass ideologies that are going on right now. There really is some very insidious shit that is spawning from Elon and Trump right now. And we need to fight against it. In some ways, this is like Star Wars. We're the fucking rebels and they're the Empire. And we need to go to work with the Ewoks and the Wookiees to go fuck them up. Seriously, is what I'm saying right now. Trevor's saying Trump signed a new bill instead of a green card. You're getting a gold card. It will cost you $5 million. Yeah, that's just a show. It's bullshit. And and we talked about this already, Trevor, this week. What I'll say to add to this is they asked him, would Russian oligarchs, very, very rich Russian oligarchs that are absolutely a horrible thing in that country, people that control the government with Putin, would they be able to get American citizenship this way? And he said, oh, yes, of course. They're lovely people. I love those Russian oligarchs. So in some ways, yeah, he's fucked, man. He's a crazy, weird fucking person, man. Seymour saying Alberta is trying to put Saskatchewan in a headlock and jump ship from the country. It's scary, insane for true Canadians. Yeah, anybody who's even entertaining the idea of joining the United States, you're a traitor to this country. I'm going to say that right now. That's what I say about our old friend that used to frequent with us, his support for that party and stuff. You're a fucking traitor, you piece of shit. Fuckface Bradley. And, that's how we got to act right now. In some ways, we can't let this kind of get a hold in here. And it will try and get a hold in your provinces out there. There's a lot of soft-headed dumbasses that are really easily manipulated because of hate. Racism and hate towards newcomers is the vehicle for them to get people on their side. It's like, don't you hate all these brown people coming to this country? Oh, yeah, I do. That's why I'm right wing and PC. I hate them. That's why I'm so on that side. That's really the most thing that gels people on the right wing side is racism. At this point, they hate people that don't look like them. They don't like them getting any kind of money in like healthcare or services in any kind of way from their taxes. So this is why they support fuck faces like that. In some ways, that is it. It's like you take rural people, white people from out in the middle of the country and prairie provinces, and they hate other people other than white people. Well, that's why they're going this way. It really is a party based on hate, the right wingers. It really is. Seymour saying if 60% of the province says it's a wrap. Yeah, I don't see that happening. In some ways, like I said, Ford and Smith, they may not be totally keen on this idea because they have their own rackets and they don't want other American grifters coming up here and taking their piece of their grifting pie up here. So in some ways, they may fight against them, partially because they like their own rackets in their own territory, and they don't want this gang of mafia coming up here, MAGA mafia, and trying to take their part of their share. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have to see how this works. In some ways, look, I don't want to be worried about this. In some ways, there's different kind of things that will protect us in different ways in different scenarios with different things. We got to hope for the best. And Seymour, you're on the right side of things. In that area over there, you need to be vigilant and be active. And if there are protests and there are people that are standing for Canada, go join them. Go join them and make sure you know in your heart that what you did what you could to help in the situation is what I'm saying. Yeah. Seymour, it's not a rant. And I appreciate you sharing what you're saying, even if I don't like what I'm hearing. Carlos saying any offers from the Orange Man government is probably fake news. It's like the buyout to the federal workers and then turn to fire them on the spot. Exactly. He's going to lie. He's shown this pattern. Like when he is confronted by the press or anybody on a question that sounds really bad when they ask him, he'll say, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And he'll lie to their face just in that moment for that quote. And then he'll turn around and do it anyway. So you can't take anything that Trump says is what he's saying. He's confusing. Some ways he's demented. He doesn't actually have his brain capacity because he's old and he's mushy in his head. In some ways, he's not even keeping track of what he's saying. And in some ways, he's a puppet. And there's actually the people that are in power, the people behind him, like Elon and Jeff Bezos and the oligarchs that are using him as a puppet and a figurehead. So he's going to lie every time. Doug Ford did the same damn thing here. He'll say something and then he'll turn around and do it behind our backs, even though he said he wouldn't. So that's the thing you got to understand. That's just how it is right now with the right-wing politicians on this continent. They're liars, and they will say anything to us before things, like him saying, oh, I'm going to stand up strong against Trump here in Ontario. I'm Doug Ford. He's lying. Don't believe anything he fucking says. Seriously. I'd say that right there. Cream's saying, are we calling the president's bluff with these tariffs, or do y'all think he's going to implement them? Well, that's the thing. He's going back and forth. And that's why I say, all right, I would say this. When they say they're going to do something originally, like Project 2025 or anything like that, they're showing that they are going to do it. So when he says stuff like he wants to annex Canada and then he says, oh, no, I'm not serious about it and all that stuff, he's bullshit. He fucking wants to do that shit for real. And that's why we have to be vigilant and hope that we can hold them off. And also the people from inside the United States can stop him from crazy ass stupid shit too. Some of it will have to do with the military and following orders and the protocol of following the Constitution. Well, that's why he's cleaning the house in the military. He's firing all the people that aren't yes men, and he wants only yes men because he's a dictator, and he wants to control everything. And anybody who goes against him, he's getting them out of the way, whether it's in oversight committees and different departments of the government that are supposed to stop and check power, whether it's the military leaders that are supposed to fulfill their oath to the U.S. Constitution and not necessarily to the president. And well, he wants yes men. He wants people to do that. And in some ways, it's insidious. He's got this Supreme Court already yes menning him. And Justice John Roberts is ruling in really unconstitutional ways already to help Trump with what his agenda is. So the system in the United States is completely broken. In some ways, the people need to take the streets and take that shit back in a revolutionary way, like George Washington would have at the birth of that country, because it's broken. And foxes in the hen house ripping up the government from the inside. And somebody's got to stop them at some point. Somebody's got to stop them. There is a lot of people taking the streets, and there are people fighting. There are people with lawsuits. There's people in government that are standing up to him, like the governor of Maine, and people like the governor of Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania. They're getting stuff done and fighting against him. And he is hedging and like backing down on some of the fights where he just can't win. So a bully, he's going to try and bully. But if we push back and we stand firm on certain things, he will go away and he won't get what he wants. That's part of the pattern also, just so people know. So let's see. Carlos saying, all right, Red, let's see. Any offers from the okay, yeah. Any offers from the Orange Man government is probably fake news. It's like the buyout to the federal workers and then turn to fire them on the spot. Yeah. Forget about that. I read that one already. Cream saying, are we calling the president's bluff? Okay. I think he's going to do it, and it doesn't matter if he does. It's going to hurt America more than it'll hurt us. It'll be better for us. Trevor saying, Anthony Edwards got ejected last night. LeBron said, why you want to be the face of the league? Remember, a lot of people is watching. Your attitude is bad. He said, why do you want to be the face of the league? Well, I don't think Anthony Edwards is the face of the league because he's not acting like it. And in some ways, that is what it is. I don't know. I think that they overthink about this, and it just naturally is going to happen. It's like the old players have said this recently in interviews. A lot of the old NBA players that are retired, they say you don't just pick who's going to be the face of the league. The people figure it out naturally because it's just how it is. Michael Jordan was just the face of the league because he was the face of the league. You can't manufacture this or make it into somebody. Either they are or they aren't. And I think that that's the thing that's missing in this NBA. They want to script write and control their product so much to sell it the way they want to sell it. They need to naturally let the environment of the NBA happen, and then things will spring from it that are naturally what they're supposed to be. If SGA is supposed to be the face of the league, they need to allow it and not be against it. If Victor Wembanyama is going to be the face of the league, they need to allow it and not be against it. And all this America rah, rah, rah shit needs to get over it on this, because some of the best players in the league are not American. And they may be more likely to be more faces of the league than people like Anthony Edwards or Jason Tatum or Zion Williamson, stuff like that. So they need to just allow it to naturally happen, is what I'm saying. Randolph's here. Good to see Randolph. Game day blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. Each day offers what is needed for success. Make wise choices and use what's available to do good and what's right. That's right. Let's do what's good and right and for this world and for humanity and for all of us. And let's stop being so selfish. I know it's not us. It's not the level of us. It's the hierarchy of the billionaires and the parasitic billionaire class that feeds off of all of us at the very top, that they need to do what's good and right. That's right. Thank you, Randolph, for your blessings, and blessings to the Phillips family, all the Raptor Freak families. That's right. UC saying, imagine SGA became the face of the league. Would be a lot more basketball fans in Canada soon if he becomes one. I think that, is that part of it? Is that like in conjunction, the NBA USA and Hockey Canada does not want the face of the league to be a Canadian guy because it may make Canada grow with sports again? I don't know if it's that. I think it's just xenophobia. I think in some ways it's like, once again, worrying about where the money goes. Well, you buy something through Amazon, the money goes to Jeff Bezos. It doesn't go to the workers, that's for sure. And if you buy, if you're going to make SGA the face of the league and he's Canadian, maybe all the money that he gets paid goes back in the Canadian economy, some of it and stuff like that. I don't know. That's some of it. The thinking is like that. That's why some people don't think we'll ever win a championship again, because they know economically it's good for Canada when the Raptors win, and that they don't like that. The United States wants to be greedy and keep all the money from championships in that side of the border. I don't know. We'll overcome that and we'll win a championship again. And it'll be a good economic payday for Ontario again. But that's the kind of forces on the down low we're behind. The invisible hand of Adam Smith, whatever. That kind of shit is going on behind the scenes, just so y'all know. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm at the end of the chat, so let's go ahead and do the classic card. Remember, full name answer, and whoever gets it first will get the classic the trivia points. So here we go. Here's the card. Let's see who knows who this player is. I think we've had this card before. I don't think we have, though. Maybe not. We've had this player before, but I think in a different card. Let's see if anybody else can figure out who this player is. Obviously, it's a Nugget, and they're wearing the old Mile High jerseys with the rainbow colors off the mountains. Pretty cool. Earl Boykins. Now, this guy's taller than Earl. There we go. Smooth knows it. Of course, Reggie's going to know. Ahmad Rashad's on the job. It's Jerome Lane. Once again, Jerome Lane of the Denver Nuggets. Earl Boykins was 5'7". This guy's like 6'6". So yeah, that's Jerome Lane. There you go. Yeah, Smooth's gonna get it. I'm gonna give it to him. It's 150 points because Jerome Lane is not that easy. Yeah, Ahmad Rashad, Jerome Lane. Boom goes the dynamite. He's got it. He's got it. Yeah, baby, he's got it. That's 3 in a row for Smooth. Actually, he's gotten 4 in a row of the classic cards now. Smooth. This is a 150 one. 150, because that's not an easy one for some people. All right, let me do the rundown, y'all. Let's see. Kaz is laughing. UC saying I'm too much of a zoomer to know him. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, this is go back. That's the classic card. In some ways, that's where we show that we're old heads. And well, we got to remember people like Jerome Lane. Yeah, Jerome Lane. He wasn't like a major player, but he started for them a bit, and he was a rotational player for the Nuggets, around with Lafayette Lever and Alex English and Michael Adams, Bill Hanslick. Yeah, Wayne Cooper. Yeah, look at that. Throwing out a whole classic Denver Nuggets lineup from 1991. Yeah, all right, let's do the recap rundown real quick. Actually, should I go and look at Reddit real quick, guys? Let's go look and see what they're saying on Reddit this morning. They're talking about where we are in the standings with tanking. As far as we're in fifth, and the Pelicans are on a 3-game winning streak. Yeah, Zion's been unlocked by Kelly. Cam Thomas is coming back to the Nets tomorrow. The Raptors might survive the tank. So these guys really want to win, want the tank. I'm not about the tank. Let's try and win now, guys. Seriously, let's try and win. Let's see. There's a funny little meme of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock from that famous moment at the Oscars. And they've got Masai as Will Smith and Daryl Morey as Chris Rock. And it's about the trade rumors about Joel Embiid. There you go. That's the right response right there. Raptors Reddit's got it. Masai slapping the shit out of Chris Rock, a.k.a. Daryl Morey, with his leaked ass Joel Embiid to Toronto trade rumors. So that's perfect. That says everything right there that I need to know. Is the next post is about that too. And it says, hell no, Philly, laughing my ass off. And that's done by Llama Goat 1273. His shit post on Reddit saying, hell no, Philly, laughing my ass off. That's right. That's funny. Haha, you're pretty funny with that one. Checking in on Raptors Reddit real quick. They seem to be pretty sane in their reaction to the Joel Embiid trade rumors we're hearing right now. They're stupid as fuck. They really are dumb, man. I don't understand where this comes from. They really do manufacture some shit around the Raptors with trade rumors that are so dumb. Seriously. Michael Grange is reporting that Scotty Barnes is questionable tonight still. So we'll have to see how that changes. I'm hoping he will play because he can't miss many more games. Honestly, he really can't. Let's go through the run through one more time. Scotty is questionable on the list right now for the Raptors. Garrett Temple is still out. He's still in Toronto with his wife, who's expecting a baby any minute now. Jamison Battle broke his nose on Brandon Carlson's shoulder in the OKC Blue game the other day. He is out due to the broken nose. PJ Tucker is still out. You've got to figure out what happens with him tomorrow. Ulrich Shamshay and Brandon Ingram are also out. I'm going to speculate that Scotty will play, and we're going to have our regular starting lineup of barbecue Yak Dick. And that's what I hope we get. Yeah, it's Chicago Bulls, injuries for them. Right now, we've got Vucevic as doubtful due to a right calf strain. So it's very likely the big man for the Bulls will not be available tonight from USC. Patrick Williams is out. Ayo Dosunmu is questionable tonight, and so is Jalen Smith. So there's some key players that are hurt. I'm going to speculate that the starters for the Bulls today will be Josh Giddey, Lonzo Ball, Kobe White, Matas Bazelis, and possibly Zach Collins in a matchup against his former teammate from the Spurs, Jakob Poeltl. That could be an interesting matchup, honestly. And they got Kevin Huerter off the bench. Now, right now, this ESPN matchup predictor has given us a 45% chance to win, 55% chance for the Bulls to win tonight. They have home advantage, and they did beat us the 2 games already this season. The referees for the game in Wisconsin against the Herd for the 9:05 at 8 p.m., Kelsey Reynolds, Leah Laney, and Ashley Gloss. And for the Raptors game, we've got Ed Malloy as the crew chief tonight. He favors the Raptors. Jason Goebel is the referee. He favors the Chicago Bulls. And Nate Green is the umpire. He favors the Raptors. So we got a fairly friendly crew, even if it's Ed Malloy. I know, Ed Malloy, yikes. But we'll see. Ed Malloy has no reason to really screw us over in this game. He really doesn't. Is that it? Yeah. Today in the Wisconsin Herd game, the Raptors 905 will be facing former Raptors Henry Ellenson, Terrence Davis II, and Justice Winslow will be involved in these games for Wisconsin Herd. All right, let's see. Is that it? I think I did all my tabs. There's no birthday today, guys, and I am done. Check out the Kensington Variety VIP Club. The latest episode of Kensington Variety VIP Club is a Friday, Free Can Friday, and I'm asking people what they're passionate about. What are you passionate about? So check out that episode on the community tab or in the tab on this channel and also in our Facebook group. It's up there. All right. Thanks, y'all, for watching the Raptor Freak channel this morning. Let's see. Trevor's saying the media is trying to push Anthony Edwards, but his attitude's so bad he cussed the referees out last night. Yeah, exactly. Right there. Yeah, he's a good dunker. He could have been the face of the league, but he just doesn't get that whole public relations thing. And that's the thing. SGA does. He has an aura to him, the way he carries himself. And honestly, this is something somebody said recently. SGA is just naturally that guy. It just seems like he naturally is that dude. You know, he has aura kind of around him like Michael in some ways as far as things. And that's what they need. That's what they want. Don't try and fight it. Just allow it. Nikola's not a very good face of the league because he's just not very public, like talking to the press kind of people. But SGA can be. And, it'll look like that. Wembayama, too. He could be that guy, too. Smooth saying tonight, SmackDown and Elimination Chamber at the Scotiabank Arena. The chamber is tomorrow. Yeah, some people were fighting to have this revoked because of the McMahon's connection to Trump. And a lot of people are saying don't go to these WWE matches because you're supporting the McMahons. Or I guess they're not really in charge anymore because they don't own it. But in some ways, some people were making petitions to not have the WWE come here this weekend because of their connections to MAGA. So, yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm not going to go down there. But that's interesting that they got that going on this week. There's been some ads with one of the Uso brothers wearing like a Raptors thing or something like that this week. Very, very interesting tie togethers between Chelsea Green being at the game the other day and seeing the Uso brothers wearing Raptors gear. It's very weird. Very, very weird. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. I'll have a reaction to the games later tonight. Raptors, you're playing the Bulls for the third time this season tonight. The first two times you played them, they were close games that you've managed to lose in the last 5 minutes when you shouldn't have. And in some ways, I was very pissed at you, both those games, the way you lost, because they were winnable and you didn't do things right. Let's see if we learned something over the course of the season on how to close games out and specifically beat the Bulls. I don't want to get swept by them. They're not that good this year. And well, if we win tonight, we stop the sweep. They've won 2 in a row. We get 2 more chances to beat them. Let's not flub this one. In some ways, we could beat them tonight. So let's do it, Raptors. Let's get another W and get closer to 26 wins, which is what I want to see them get to. Peace out. Thank you, Blackhawk. I appreciate everybody. I'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. So let's beat the Bulls. As Monique said with her keys to victory earlier, let's come out and hit them first at the beginning of the game. Let's watch them on the three-point line really, really well. And let's really play with an intense defense and energy that garners turnovers and fast break opportunities and getting the boards and getting easy baskets. And if y'all could start making your threes today again, like you did against the Suns, that would be awesome. If you could make your threes again, that'd be great. Because that'll really help us win and make your free throws also. That goes without saying. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Join the channel if you feel like there's some privileges to being a member of the channel. Seriously, there are. All right, let's go 905. Beat the Wisconsin Herd, and let's go Raptors and beat the Chicago Bulls tonight. Let's go Raptors.